These are photographs that I've been doing for a long time, mainly in Manhattan, in New York. It was my hope to be able to merge so carefully that you couldn't filter them apart, the content of what was being shown and the form in which it was being shown in, so that while you're seeing New York, you're also clearly getting a personal point of view about it. Now, my first show at the Eastman House, back when there were dinosaurs up and down East Avenue, were street pictures of New York in the same continuing body of work, but people on the phone then, which has been a constant subject of mine, were in little booths. I don't know if you can all remember that. These little booths had a folding door, and you went in, you got a quarter or a dime, and you put it in, and you made a phone call with a wire and everything. And what I liked about taking pictures of those is the same really as these, is that because the people are not present where they stand, that their minds are totally somewhere else, their bodies assume postures that they wouldn't otherwise. They're there and they're not there. They're like ghosts. And now we get to trees. So my engagement with trees starts here. I needed a project in Rochester because I couldn't go to the city all the time, and I needed some structure or some discipline. And the only thing I did on a regular basis was walk my dog. So I took the camera while I walked the dog, And if you have a dog, eventually your attention is brought to trees. But it took me a while to figure that out, and I was just photographing him. The trees were there, but I was photographing Tucker. And these are exactly the pictures that I'll never print and exhibit, in a way, because they are funny. And there's nothing that will have an image overlooked and kind of disregarded faster than one that's funny. Got it? I'm done. But I thought in terms of this project, there would be no irreparable harm in showing you these. And now I'm going to show pictures that are in my show. Well, some are and some aren't. This is just, it was at a point where the ginkgo hadn't yet turned, but the sycamore behind it had, and it created this image that would not pass what my wife and I call the Hangover Test, because it just kind of makes your eyes go buggy. But it also engages the picture plane in a very unusual way. And I think that's something that a lot of these have in common. Here, this very large, mainly bare tree, the little yellow-orange one, and the big outcrop that you see all over Central Park. And that little black dot in the middle of the rock is a pair of sunglasses. And this one is in the exhibit. This I took at Mendon Ponce Park, Central Park. This is here at the Eastman House. I have a few pictures, just like Stieglitz, well, not just like Stieglitz, but as he said, you don't have to go to exotic places, and you don't have to have special access to exotic things. You can probably make pictures that are interesting for you, and maybe for others, wherever you are. And as you saw in those tree pictures, many of them are just around the hood. John Zharkov Ski was, for about 2 decades, the curator of photography at the Museum of Modern Art. And Zharkov Ski, he hypothesized that you could put all photographs on an axis with two points. On one end were the mirrors, on the other end, the windows. Artists seem to move from windows, the examination of the external reality as their subject, to a more self-referential reality. The mirrors were photographs that while taken of the reality out there, were really meant to be reflections of the photographer, of his thoughts, of his feelings, of his beliefs about art and photography. And as you look at these, you might think, well, where are these on the axis? They are there to transmit something. They're what somebody called works of art elegant intermediaries. I think that's just a wonderful phrase.